What's up, kings and queens? It's Dan from Daft Previews. And if you don't know what the fuck NRL is, you're going to find out today. We open the season in Sin City. It's Las Vegas. We've got a double header. It's historic. It's the first game out of 117 years that we take a wonderful game of National Rugby League overseas. We've got some excellent games. We're previewing the ones in Vegas. I got my old friend Luke with me. We're going to preview. We'll talk through our best bets. And I want to say, if you've never watched rugby league before, this is a game that you need to see. Now, let me introduce you to the big fella. It's Loose. Luke. Welcome, big dog. Mate, just living the high life. I'm almost a celebrity now.
Hey, you've gotten famous since we've last caught up. Grown
almost
a bit.
3,000 subscribers since we last spoke.
There you go.
That's 2,900 more people than I ever thought I would get. So pretty chuffed about that. I am. Yeah.
Has anyone spotted you in the street yet? Are you that level yet, or?
No, actually, I've been eyeing people out as I walk the streets, and I'm eyeballing people, looking for one person to say, "Hey, you're that guy." But no, it hasn't happened yet. I think it's because I'm in the wrong country.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. So it hasn't happened yet, but maybe one day. But things are growing very quickly. This video is sure to get more attention than the ones that we were doing last year. A lot more subscribers, a lot more viewers. This game being played in the US as well. A large portion of the people that watch this channel are from the US. So I don't want to get too deep into the finer details of rugby league. I want to talk about who's going to win, why they're going to win. If some of these people you don't trust in Vegas, we can talk a little bit about that. But we've got really two games to preview, and then next week it's BAU, right? It's
correct. Yeah. Well, the week after, next week will be the 6 other games.
The other 6? Yeah. And then the week after, we'll get jiggy with it. All right. Well, let's talk a bit about it. So the first game, we've got the Manly Sea Eagles versus the South Sydney Rabbitohs. So as we go through this, I'm trying to think of NBA comps. What's the comparison here? So I guess the first one, and I'm winging this right now, right? But let's say the South Sydney Rabbitohs. How would we describe them? The South Sydney Rabbitohs are probably like the Boston Celtics. They're one of the oldest teams in the competition. They've got some exceptional talent, but they are choking. They choke in big games. They get so close to getting there, very much like the Boston Celtics, and they fucking lose. So they also wear green, so that helps. That's the South Sydney Rabbitohs. Now, the Manly Sea Eagles, they're a team that a lot of teams hate. Is that right? Probably not as much now, but...
Not as much now, but the 90s and 80s and 90s, yeah, they were the hated team.
Yeah, so very much a hated team, and I don't understand why. It's like, I've always hated them too, but I don't know why everybody hates them. You're about to some light on why do so many rugby league?
There was a period back in the day where they were just buying every player from every club.
Right.
So, yeah, just all the good players are just poaching from other clubs, and everyone just hated them because they just kept buying everyone.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Or there was a salary cap
comparison there. Well, there's any team that LeBron James is on, really. But look, the Manly Sea Eagles, I think they're a bit different these days. Much more liked. They've got their best players are all pretty nice guys, which is rare in rugby league. But a pretty stacked team. So I've got no NBA comp for the Sea Eagles. Because the NBA is a bit different. They don't give a fuck about salary caps over there. It's like, yeah, let's just go over it. We'll pay the fine. It's all good. So, but in this game, so we've seen some serious line movement. Well, I've seen some serious line movement over the last 3 or 4 days. So Manly opened up as 4.5 with a 4.5 start. The line's at 4.5. It's now moved to 1.5. And I think by the time kickoff happens, it's a pick 'em. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, yeah.
Why have we seen so much line movement? Are there certain players missing? What's going on here?
Yeah, so South's a few from their back line. I'm testing my memory, but they have a few injuries. I can't remember the names of them, but the back line for South are missing.
Campbell Graham, but I don't even know if he was supposed to play.
I think apparently they were thinking he was going to play, but I think it was a few weeks ago, they realised he's a chance of not playing. But Campbell Graham and I can't think of that winger who basically nearly killed Spencer Leniu a couple of years ago, or the centre. He's missing as well. Then in the forwards...
Jack Wyden's suspended.
Jack Whiten's still suspended. They're missing, they're still missing, I think, 3 on that back line, which is the difference. That's basically why they're shortening, because people, I think, are looking at that lineup, and South are typically not the fastest starters, so they're a bit clunky usually at the start of the season, and they ramp it up towards the end and have a run in the end in the finals when they do perform well. So
it's. I reckon, like, at first I was like, "Fuck, Manly all the way." I can't see why they're underdogs. I'm going to take them to win. Then I looked at the lineups and I was like, "This is actually going to be pretty close." Like the Rabbitohs, probably the weak points, probably just in their props.
Yes,
but their back row is terrific. Their bench isn't too bad either. Well, it's not too bad. It's just the Manly bench isn't that great.
Well, Nathan Brown blows my mind. And then we've got Jake Arthur, Aaron Woods and stuff who could possibly come in. Then, it's...
Yeah, so they don't have depth, but they have a very good team, the Manly Sea Eagles, but a couple of injuries will derail their season real quick.
Yes.
But I guess we can throw home field advantage out the window, right? Both teams playing in Las Vegas. It's a massive game. They're expecting, 45,000? I think they've got 35 to 40,000 tickets sold already.
Yeah.
45,000 sells out that stadium. And I'm pretty sure they will sell it out. They have to. Who do you think buckles under the spotlight here?
I think South will buckle under the spotlight. Still, I wish I took Manly 4.5, but I think Manly will cover with the start.
The 1.5?
Yeah, they even just take them straight at 210.
Yeah.
This is probably the strongest Manly team you're going to get all year.
Yeah.
The question mark will be Brooks and Cherry Evans' limited time playing together in the halves, but I think it's going to set Brooks up for a good year that he's not running the show.
Yes. And I think Manly will play a lot of left and right anyway.
Yeah.
Harry's got his combinations with Olakwatu. And Luke Brooks, an underrated part of his game is that he fucking runs the ball very well. Like, he's a great runner of the football. Unfortunately, he's been asked to be the playmaker, which it's been difficult for him to find balance. But in this team, it's a very easy role for him. It's pretty much go ahead and be Cody Walker now. Just run, create some shit.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
So, and, I think what I'm most excited to see is Turbo versus Latrell. I think Latrell shines under these types of lights, but Turbo's an absolute freak too.
Yeah.
And
full off season.
Yeah, I heard they both had a good off season. I don't know if people are making shit up like Latrell's is the fittest he's ever been, but that could just be hyping up this game. But it wouldn't surprise me. Like Latrell, but he didn't look good in that All-Stars game.
The All-Star game, he didn't look fit at all.
No.
No, to be honest, most players didn't look that fit in that game.
Yeah, that's true. They were building up to this game. So I'm pretty see that. I think this is where these teams easily match. I think the halves easily match Turbo and Latrell. I think the backlines easily match. The Sea Eagles probably have the better advantage in their props and meters, but that back row for the Rabbitohs is pretty good. And both benches are a 6 out of 10. So I think it'll be a very close game. And when it's that close, I think if your fullbacks and your star players are going to cancel each other out, it really comes down to Cherry Evans versus Lachlan Ilias. And Cherry Evans, it doesn't matter how old and how long this guy's neck is. Like, he delivers when he needs to, right? He's pretty clutch.
He's got a very long neck.
He's got a long neck, yeah. Low traps or something. Like, it's awkward. But, yeah, so I'm leaning with Manly. I personally was talking to him in the office today, and I was like, take a Manly 1-12. I'm taking the margin straight away.
Yeah, I think that's a good bet.
I didn't think too hard. I didn't even look at the playlist. I was like, yeah, that's what my gut tells me. Manly 1-12 or Manly into overs. Like, this game is going to the US. They're going to sell this game. It's not going to be a defensive game.
No.
But I heard a rumor about the field being slightly thinner. Is that true? There's less width on the field, or is that made up?
I don't know. I haven't heard of that. No. I'm sure the NFL field's just as wide. Maybe what? But even the NFL fields, they've got
they can chalk the lines up however they want. Like,
they've got this, but behind, like, they've got the sidelines, and then they've got about a kilometer between that and the grandstand, where the whole squads are standing behind. Those can go. What? It's not like that's the edge of the field to the stadium. Like, they've literally that space on either sideline because they've got so many staff and crap there. Like, it definitely. It
sounded like a stupid rumor. Like, let me just tell you what I heard. Right, I heard, and this is Brisbane Broncos fans, right? I heard that the field is not as wide as an actual rugby league field. Is why it's so important that we have Corey Oates play, because there's not going to be as much width and space, yada, yada, yada. And I was like, that's interesting. But maybe they're shitty that Corioto's not playing this game. But okay, I don't believe that rumor was true because it sounded stupid to me. Because I was like, that NFL foot is huge.
Yeah.
Like, so, all right. At least we can get rid of that. But yeah, so I'm thinking Manly will win this. I think Manly will cover the line. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. And if I want to get pretty good odds, you take the margin of Manly 1-12. That's where my mind goes, right?
Yep.
You seem to be thinking the same thing.
Yeah, $3.20 on Sportsbet.
$3.20. Sportsbet also have that promo. Create a same game multi. It doesn't matter what the odds are. If it loses, you'll get your money back in bonus.
No minimum legs either.
Yeah.
So if you
exploit that.
Yeah, so there's a couple of ways. It's basically if you want to do, say, the margin, say the big win, little win market, you pick that and then pick the team you want to win and put that in a multi is the way to do it. So it's 2 legs essentially, but you then get your chance, a free hit basically at the 1-12 or 13+. So
yeah, I was fucking around with it too. And what I've done is this. I'm going to take Manly plus 6.5 because I think they'll win. But, I'm fucking wrong a lot of the time. Let's not hide that. I think Manly will win, but I'm going to take the Manly plus 6.5. And then I'm going to take Latrell and Garrick to both score 6 points because I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. They're both capable of scoring a try. If they don't score, they just need to kick 3 field goals each. 3 goals each. Like, this game could be a 26-20 game, and that's easily 3 kicks each.
Yeah, sure.
So I was like, that seems like that's $3.10. So the one thing that really got me excited when I put this bet together is because in the NBA, when you apply correlation, you don't get penalized as much. I might pick one team to win and their best player on that team to score X amount of points. You get pretty good odds on that.
Yeah.
With the NRL, the correlation absolutely smashes the odds down. But if you reverse that, so if you pick Manly plus 6.5, the Troll to score 6 points, $2.70. Like, the reverse correlation gives you excellent odds, and that really excites me about the NRL. Whereas, like, originally I was looking at just Manly plus 1.5, Garrick to score 6 points. I got less odds than this. But the riskiest part is Manly plus 6.5. That's crazy to me. So
it is, yeah.
That's what I think I'm going to be playing on this one. But if I was just running singles, then Manly 1-12 or Manly plus the over. I think the line's at 41.5.
Yeah.
You know what the weather's going to be like there? What type of weather are we thinking in Las Vegas in February? It's not cold anymore, is it? Or they're getting out of winter?
Yeah, but their winter there still.
Las Vegas on the west coast. On the west
It's
side.
hot. It's like if I
I'll look at desert, right?
Yeah, it's desert weather. So looking at it now. So Sunday 10 degrees.
Saturday night for them.
Saturday night, 13 degrees, 15 degrees, windy.
Is that Fahrenheit or Celsius here? Has to be Celsius.
Celsius.
Yeah. Okay. It's pretty cold then.
Yeah.
Okay. Might not be overs then.
It'll be dry though. I can't even think.
It'll be dry?
Yeah.
Because 15 degrees here in Australia is not dry. Like
no.
Fucking
very moist.
I miss saying that name. That word. I've been saying aroused and mildly erect for some time now. I use that scale to talk about my level of confidence. So, well, I guess the bet that I have, the stuff on Manly, it's got me mildly erect because I've been thinking that all week and I didn't check the lines and I was like, shit, this line is moving. So I'm not the only one that's erect by this Manly line. So and I do think it's going to be a pick 'em come game time. So if you get the chance and if you're getting Manly at plus odds, if you're getting that plus money, I wouldn't say I strongly recommend Manly because I don't give advice. I just give opinions. And my opinion is Manly win this. I think it's a good, exciting game, but I think they sneak away with it. So I do like that 1-12 margin as well. All right. Anything else you want to say on this game before we get to the other?
No, you've covered everything. Go Manly.
Fuck yeah, I did. All right. The next game I like to call the main event. And I would usually say Brisbane are playing, but it actually is. For this doubleheader in Vegas. This is the best game the NRL could have come up with. You don't want to put the boring Penrith Panthers in Vegas. You want these Roosters, mate. The Red V. And if we're doing NBA comps here, one of these teams are the Los Angeles Lakers. Couldn't tell you which one, but they both give me Los Angeles Lakers vibes. Cashed up clubs, big cities. Well, they're both the main cities, right? Like it's rugby league. So there's Brisbane and Sydney. So cashed up clubs. I support the Broncos, not because they're better than everybody else, but because there was a famous big dark chocolate man roaming the field back when I was watching the 90s, and I haven't been able to shake that image. But so this particular game, the Broncos are favorites. $1.50 something last time I checked. 56, maybe that's
57.
57. Okay. Both teams have some outs, some new faces. I think most notably for the Roosters, Spencer Leniu, because Dom Young's not there. So Lenu's probably their biggest signing. And for the Broncos, our biggest signing is fucking Fletcher Baker. But we got some young throbbers, some young talent knocking down the door. So I think there's a few Broncos players who are going to take a leap. We lost some good players, but I think we'll see some players take a leap for sure.
That's who I was going to say. I am so excited for him. He's literally your Spencer Leniu. He is your Spencer Leniu.
The second half of last season, he was starting to break out. That's when he was taking all of Cape Wars minutes. I was like, this guy's going to be so good. And they've been saying that for years. And I couldn't see it until last year.
And I don't think he got, even grand final, I don't think he got a lot of minutes in the grand final, which surprised me. I'm trying to think back on it.
I don't think back on it. That's the whole point of moving forward.
Yeah, I just don't think he got many minutes. And I thought he's someone who he literally just, easy Spencer Leniu, just came on and just ran hard and straight, made a difference.
Yeah, he's pretty good. Piakura's good. Xavier Willison, hopefully he breaks out as well. And then we also see Selwyn Cobbo playing in the centers, which I'm a little bit skeptical, but I feel like playing in the centers will keep his head in the game. Looks like someone who falls asleep out there sometimes. Playing on the wing, it's probably understandable. Like he's not engaged in the game sometimes. I think watching the trial where he played in the centers, he looked great. His hands were good. His lines were good. He's obviously huge, powerful. He's got all that talent.
Yeah.
So, and if he stays engaged with the game, I think that's going to look good. For the Roosters, I didn't watch anything to do with the Roosters, and I rarely ever do. Teddy's a year older. So is Toop. So is Kiri. I'm assuming Victor Radley's still going to be angry. Tupanua's, he got injured twice now in the last 2 years, right? Some pretty serious injuries for Tupanua. Wong in the second row, he's quite good, very raw. Collins is a very religious person, apparently. I haven't read the articles, but I've seen the headline. Do you know much about that?
No.
Because it went from him sticking avocados up his ass to...
punching above his weight with his missus,
Yeah. Those are the two things I was very well aware of. But just this week, he's come out about his religious beliefs. Apparently, he used to pray in the toilets to hide it and stuff like that. But he's come out. Apparently, he's very religious. And I don't know if that has anything to do with the avocados. But look, the Roosters are the same Roosters we've seen for the last few years. Excellent on paper, but the last 2 years, they have been disappointing. Every year, the last 2 years, I've said the same thing. I think the Roosters win the comp.
Are you saying it this year?
Absolutely not. I think Brisbane win the comp.
There you go. I think we get a repeat of the grand final. I think it's round 2.
I think we should, but I don't think anyone else has improved enough.
No, the same grand final.
Yeah, I think Dolphins make the 8. I think the Bulldogs get a little bit better, but they're still...
Yeah.
I think the Roosters do the same bullshit that they usually do.
Yeah, win a heap of games to make the 8.
Same as South. South will linger around between 3 and 6. Shit the bed when it comes down to prime time. Manly, they'll get injuries and they won't be a strong team by the end of the year. Like 13 deep, their bench sucks. So that's what's going to happen to Manly. I haven't even thought about the other teams. They're not worth it. The Titans, same old trash. I think the Dolphins will be heaps better than Titans this year. The Cowboys, I don't rate them. I don't think they've gotten better. So
no, I don't think so either.
Yeah. So let's talk about this game. The Roosters versus Cowboys. I obviously have a script in my mind, but I'll hand it over to you. What happens in this game? Why does it happen? Who wins? How much? Totals? Give me a fucking script from your mind, mate.
All right. Brisbane cover the line, -3.5. I'd have a dabble on Brisbane 13+. I
Mhm.
think the overs smash in this game as well, over 39.5. And anytime try scorers, your boy Reece Walsh is over 110%.
That's a pretty high percentage. You don't think he sets up like 5 tries?
No, he backs up on support, and Teddy gets it's 2-on-1 draw and pass to him. He goes
Ezra
over.
and Reece Walsh could go mad.
I can see that. Yeah, Roosters are very slow starters. I think I've read somewhere they've lost 5 of their last 6 round 1 games, including last year. They played a brand new team in the Dolphins and were hyped up. And
Yeah.
this is a premiership. This is the team that's going to knock Penrith off. Blah 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 blah. And the Dolphins beat them in round 1 with like half a strength team. So they don't start fast. It's just, I don't know, it's the way these teams, they go through this lull, and at the end of the season, they win 7-8 games in a row to make the 8 and then peanut out in the second round.
Yeah.
Same thing's going to happen. I'm not, again, Luke here, there's a lot of players that question marks. Like, they're just stacked on paper, but
they're so good on paper. I'm looking at it now. Like, this
they
team
are
is awesome.
Amazing. Like, again, if that was your team and you're going out there and watching a game, you'd be like, this is a good team. But
like,
I just
if 2K Sports made a rugby league team, if you're playing your mate, you pick the Roosters.
Yeah, correct. Like every position, like even if you look right down to their reserves, like Angus Crichton, Connor Watson,
yeah.
Egan Butcher, like they're first graders at club starting. They walk in as starters. They can't even make the 17 of this team.
Yeah.
Stacked. But they just, I don't know what it is. They just don't seem to get it going and can never gel. And I don't see why things are going to change. Spencer Lenny's not going to make that team gel. And I did watch their trial game. I think it was against, I can't remember, it was against, they had a full strength team. I think it was Manly, maybe the Fuff. And they were shit. They looked so, same clunkiness, like the out the back and Tedesco breaking up the rhythm, just the same shit.
Yeah.
I don't rate them. Like, again, I hope I'm proven wrong. I think they're a fucking good team if they're on and they look all right. But Brandon Smith as well, since he's gone there, he hasn't done anything. It proves my theory. Melbourne don't let go of players unless they are on the decline. So
yeah. It applies to every player but Cooper Cronk that ever left Melbourne.
But you could even argue with Cooper Cronk, he was better at Melbourne than he was at Roosters. He was just surrounded by an amazing Roosters team.
That's true.
Yeah. Like
he's what they need right now.
Yeah, he's 2 years at Roosters. He wasn't better at the Roosters. He just kept the team and made them perform better. But he was a better player at Melbourne.
Yeah, that's true. I'd buy into that one. What else am I thinking for this game? I'm just like, this Rooster team is so stacked. It's so good, but they don't play that way. I think of Spencer Lenyon. I think he's a great prop, but I feel like the role he had last year was the perfect role for Spencer.
Yeah, no, because that first 20 minutes he'll come on.
Everybody's fresh.
Everybody's fresh. He used to come on when there's tired legs, and he used to speed the ruck up. He is going 100 miles an hour up into Payne Haas and Flegler. Not Flegler, sorry. Payne Haas and who's your other starting prop?
Carrigan and Jensen.
That's right, Jensen. He ain't having that impact. Like, he's not pushing through Payne Haas and then a quick play the ball. They'll slow him down.
No. And even if he does, the game's fast at the start anyway. I feel like starting him's not the best way to go. But if I was Robbo, I'd be starting Terrell May.
Yeah, he's good.
He's good. He's decent. And that's all you need to start the game. Spencer's an absolute game breaker. When he comes on off the bench, it's like, fuck, this guy's on.
I reckon there's a prediction halfway through the season, you'll see Jared Hargrave starting, and he'll revert and play Spencer the same way.
Yeah, it has to be. But look, we're not the coaches here. We're just right.
No, we're not. We're just experts.
Just experts. This Broncos team hasn't changed too much. I've gotten rid of the memory of them. Hurt my feelings. But Herbie Farnworth, is he the sexiest man in league?
No.
Did he win that?
Him? I thought it was one of your players.
Jordan Ricky?
I thought it was. I'll look it up while you're...
Sexiest man in league. Because it wasn't me.
Did you see Brandon Smith was ranked 100? He was filthy because Cam McInnes and stuff were above him. He's like, come on. The guy's missing teeth. How is he?
But anyway, we miss Herbie Farnworth. He's a massive loss. I love that guy to bits. He was so good.
It was Herbie. You're right. Herbie 1, Reece Walsh 2,
Connor
3, man. Jordan Ricky 4. Mate, you got 3 in the top 5 plus 4 if you count Herbie. What a hot team you got.
We're hot throbbers, mate. Our Brisbane Broncos. Best looking
Just-
team in the comp.
Penrith didn't have anyone in the. Yeah, okay.
No,
The
they're
top
ugly
10.
fuckers. They're champions.
Scott
So-
Sorensen, 21.
He's a good looking bloke though, Scott Sorensen.
He's a rig.
But yeah, so Herbie's going to be a big loss, but lucky we have Selwyn Cobbo, right? He's ceiling higher than Herbie's. Herbie's just better than him right now, but Selwyn's ceiling, I think, is much higher. Bloody Bloodnut, what was his name? Flegler. So he'd be missed. He will be missed. He was pretty good, but also I don't blame him for leaving. He was capable of much more, and he was like the third string forward they had. So fair enough. We're never going to be able to retain him. We still got Carrigan, you got Haas. So it's like the foundation of your fucking house is still there. If we lost either of those, we'd be fucked.
Well, Payne Haas will be due soon to ask for more money.
Yeah. He will.
He'll try. And then Carrigan's
He'll
also
probably do it in June, July. Like,
yeah,
I need more money.
Yeah, when he realizes, he's like the Adam Fanua-Blake of the Broncos.
Yeah. I think he'll time it for when New South Wales win an Origin game. He'll come out and say it. I'm working. So, but yeah, I think what I'm really nervous about is Reece Walsh fucking throwing 7 intercepts in this game, or Katoni Staggs dropping the ball. Like, we got a lot of error-prone plays.
Tell you what, Walsh loves to throw an intercept.
Loves it.
He got plucked again the other day in the trial.
He's a gambler, mate. He just throws them, which is good. But fuck, you've got some Billy Smith, Joey Manu, Sawali. Like, if they get a line break, I don't think we can stop it. Like, Reece Walsh can't tackle any of them.
Yeah, true.
So I'm worried about that. But we've got Dean Mariner. He's got some pace. We have a decent backline, but on paper, the Roosters one is better. But in the halves, I think is where we chew them up. We will absolutely chew them up. Ezra, Adam Reynolds. I'm pretty keen for this. I'm pretty excited. So I've pretty much told the missus Sunday afternoon, the footy's on.
Lay the law down, though. Lay the law down.
I booked out the lounge. Bought a new lounge about 8 weeks ago. I haven't sat on it yet. This is going to be my first time. Lovely.
Christen it.
I'm going to christen the shit out of it. I'm going to get Uber Eats. I'm going to have some burgers, beers. I'm going to have everything there. So it's going to be grand. All right, we're aligned in our thinking. We think the Broncos win. I was thinking 13. What's 13 plus? Give me. I think like 250.
320.
320?
320, okay. Yep, 320.
Brisbane 13 plus. I definitely like the overs in this one. I like the overs in this one more than the other one. And the line's lower in this one, right?
Yeah, 39.5, 2 points, yeah.
Yeah, so I do like the overs. Brisbane 13 plus. Brisbane to cover, that 3.5 is. I would take that all up to 5.5, really.
But the 39.5 is interesting because their last 5 games have gone over 39.5. They haven't gone under 39.5 in at least their last 5.
Yeah.
So
I think there's just a strong weighting here of this is to promote the game. Like, that's all they've been doing. And
it'd be the old refs were told to put the whistle away in the flow and don't start it. Get fatigue into it.
Yes.
Which was the grand final. Why the grand final was high scoring in the end.
Yeah.
There was no stoppages.
Let them play.
That's why
I don't believe the game is rigged, right? I don't believe the game is rigged, but referees are influenced not to swing in a certain way, but for the game to be played a certain
way.
Yeah. And I think they will be influenced. It's going to be high scoring. It needs to be entertaining. If you want a fucking game with penalties and the game stopping the whole time, you'd watch NFL. So I can't see them doing that. So I think it flows. All right. What's the same game multi here? What are you thinking?
Again, I'll go overs, Broncos 13 plus. Reece Walsh anytime. That gets you. I'll just do 13 plus. Right? Yeah, big season from him. So just 13 plus and Walsh anytime, $6.
$6?
Yeah. Again, if they're winning 13 plus, I feel like he's getting over.
I think I'm going to go a bit more conservative. I'm taking Brisbane to win. Now I don't like non-try scorers, but this is Vegas, right?
It's Vegas. You bet.
It's Vegas. I've found Ezra Mam is 360 anytime.
Okay.
He's a fucking machine. That guy.
Bit of form in his last game. Three tries. So
there's actually good value in the forwards here, which is crazy. You can get Pia Kura or Jordan Ricky at $6.
Does Pia Kura go over much?
Yeah. He's got great footwork. Like, think about how many times Kurt Capewell scored. And it's all grubbers or short passes at the line. Piakura would be much more effective than that. Piakura scored in the trial game. He scored twice. He had a breakaway try and one of those edge.
Oh,
So to get him for $6, it's not computing properly in my mind. Like, is this? Imagine the game actually goes well unders and fucking no one scores.
No one scores. Yeah, possible, but you guys are formed preseason champions, so
we are the preseason champs. So that's the first ring we're going to win. I'm going Broncos to win. Ezra Piakura, $22.
It's not bad. That's not conservative, by the way, as you said.
Yeah, because I saw the odds. I don't know. I might take. I can't. I can see Ezra scoring there. Like, if there's a line break, Ezra or Welsh are going to be there every single time.
Oh, yeah.
And Piakura is the number one option when we get within the 10. There's that short ball. He's got great footwork. Yeah, I think he can find his way through. But look, for this particular one, I'm just going to go with Brisbane, Ezra, and then maybe overs. I think Piakura at $6 worth a single.
Okay.
$6.75. Let's dance.
I like it.
I might fuck around with that a little bit later. But look, all right. That's all we've got for this one, Luke. I don't want to spend too long because I have to dive into some NBA stuff. So I'm going to be up until midnight. But hopefully you guys like the discussion today. Not too much context. We haven't seen a rugby league game in like 4 or 5 months. But every week we're going to be going through a preview of the round. We're not going to go into as much depth as we have in this one. We'll make a lot of the calls around who's going to win. I think what we do is we probably do a money line or just a money line lock for the week. We do a multi and pick these other teams that won't lose this week.
Yeah.
Then we'll go through probably our best handicap bets. If the games are shit, not worth talking about, we just won't talk about them, right?
Skip them.
So we'll just hit some bangers, lines, totals, money line, and if we've got some juicy margins, we'll talk about those too. And these videos will come out probably midweek each and every single week. So I'm pretty keen. So if you guys thought I was good at betting NBA, wait till you see this shit on NRL. My Lord. Less bets, more profit. That's what tends to happen. Talk about aroused. I'm getting into it right now. Well, Luke, it was good chatting to you, bruv.
Likewise.
When was the last time you heard this song, by the way? It's been a while.
Long, long time.
Well, here you go, my friend. We'll see you all next week. Ciao.
See ya.
Sub to the channel cause your boy's getting busy. Coming to your line from the west side of Sydney. We've got the picks and the juice on the daily. It's all free, you don't even have to pay me.
All right.